Welcome back to Q&A with S&A. I'm Andrea.
And I'm Shane.
And today we are so lucky, and we've just worked out it's been a long time, to have our beautiful photographer and longtime friend of Aintree Group in the room with us today, Mel Hobbs. Welcome, Mel.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here.
How long has it been? Long-time friend, how long? We'll work this out together. We've got one of your beautiful photos on our wall. Mm-hmm. You took it when you were over in New York. It was a big trip. So you will remember the timing of it. How long have we had that up on our wall?
Okay, so my husband surprised me with a trip to New York. I had always wanted to be there, and he just surprised me one day, came home and he said, I've got your Christmas present, and this was in September.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is it?
A bit early.
And I had this box and I opened it up, and inside there was these this folder and some books on how to photograph New York. And I'm like, what is this? Like, the books are great.
Yeah.
Then I opened up the folder and he'd booked everything. Mm-hmm. And it was just so amazing.
Yeah.
Everything was all organised, and I was going on my own. At the time I had young children, and I was going to leave them behind and go on my own.
Yeah.
And so it was fun. That was in when was it? 2011.
Wow. Okay, so it was a
14
while
years.
ago.
Okay.
Yeah, a while ago.
Yeah. And you came back from that trip. You had an amazing time. You came back from that trip and had an exhibition.
Yes.
And this is the silliest, funniest, most ridiculous story, because the reason why
Is
I
it
know
really?
Mel, it
Yeah.
is.
Okay.
The reason why I know Mel is because of Bill Dennis.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so there you go.
I was trying to work out the connection.
Yeah, so Bill had
Right.
posted about Mel, and Mel had gone on, Mel's doing this exhibition.
Yeah.
And we went along, and one of your pictures was up there, one of your photos, and we bought it. Because it's a place, we love New York as well.
Yeah.
And that actual picture, we have photos of us at, not as beautiful as what yours
Is
are.
it Bryant Park or
No,
wrong
it's
one?
not.
Sorry,
It's
get it wrong.
Bowling Green.
Bowling
Bowling
Green.
Green, thank you.
So the big
In
circle
with snow.
and it's with the snow, and we'd never seen it in the snow before, but Mel had taken it with the snow. But a couple of years after we got your photo, we went to New York and it snowed. So we now have photos of us standing in the exact spot that you took that photo of us in the snow, which is pretty cool.
I love that. I love that it became a place, a special place for you guys.
Yeah.
And recently I was there last year.
Yeah.
My son had been in Europe for 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
And I missed him, and I said, do you want to
going.
meet me in New York on his way home?
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, okay. He had to change all his plans, but, New York is across the ditch from London.
Yeah.
And so we met in New York, and I was able to show him all the places that I'd photographed, which was so amazing.
Yeah.
So
Did you
amazing.
photograph them again?
I did.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. I took my camera and I actually went to all the places that were in all of my photos.
Yeah.
And it was the middle of summer. Well, actually, it was around this time, August, September. So it was sort of the end of summer.
Yeah.
But it was completely different.
Yeah.
And even 13 years on, it was completely different.
Yeah, well, so much has gone on in that 13 years too, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We know that New York was one of the biggest hit cities for COVID, and everything shut down. And we noticed the same thing, is that it's a vastly different place to what it was, even 13 years ago. But I guess that's the nature of being a photographer, because you capture a still moment in time, and then you get to go back there again and again if you have the opportunity and photograph it again.
I would love that. I would love to go back and actually photograph it like in all of the seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, initially it was -6 degrees.
Yeah.
It had dumped 18 inches of snow. It was so beautiful.
Yeah.
And so beautiful to photograph. And I was fairly new to photography back then.
Yeah, okay.
I had started studying in 2008, so I was fairly green to it all. And I photographed it as I saw it.
Yeah.
So it was a lot different this time because a lot of things have changed. I took photos out the front of the Met, and there were fountains there that were actually frozen when I was there. Like you could see that they'd frozen over.
Yeah.
But this time they've planted a whole bunch of trees around there because they have the Met Gala there, and they use them as a walkway and an archway and that sort of thing. So it was completely different, different.
Yeah. So New York is our shared thing, and now our children are also both into theatre, so we have that in common as well.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, we know each other because you're a photographer. So tell us, you said you'd only just started doing photography, so tell us about the journey from back then to now.
Okay, so I guess I studied photography as part of school.
Yeah.
I chose those electives. I then went on to Teachers College when I finished school, and I majored in art. But I didn't want to be a teacher.
Yep.
So after 18 months I left, and I actually just wanted to travel.
Yep.
I just wanted to go around the world and travel. So I became a nanny so that I could then get a job in London and be a nanny over there. The first job that I had was with triplets. And I know, right? Yeah. And I thought if I can do that job even for 6 months,
correct.
I can do anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can get any job. So I did it, and then I did a couple of other jobs in between, and then got enough money to go to London. Lived there for 2 years.
Yeah.
When I came back, I didn't know what I was going to do, but I didn't want to stay in Adelaide anymore. London was such a big city, and then going back to country Adelaide was so I moved to Sydney.
Yeah.
I met my husband there, and I actually he started an ISP. And I worked for him as the office manager.
Yeah.
And I was doing IT support and that sort of thing. I was then in my spare time learning how to make websites. And I really valued then the need for good photography. So we got married, we had kids, we sold the business, and he ended up moving. Well, we all moved to Melbourne with him. He was working for a company here in Melbourne, and that's when I said, I've got to do something for me that's a bit creative.
Yeah.
I've always loved photography. I've always been interested, but I want to know how to take good photos of my children. And I was scrapbooking at the time.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that the photos that I did were really good. And mind you, I have not done scrapbooking since. I have not had the time. But so I studied 4 years part-time at Photography Studies College. The kids were very little. Marley was 1 and Max was 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Max had just started school. Marley was still in preschool, and it was just it was a busy time. Studying and managing the family and all that sort of thing. So and sort of after that, it just catapulted. It was just crazy.
Yeah. So what do you do now when photography is a thing? Tell us a bit about some of the things that you get to do, because you get to do some pretty cool things. We were just talking about something before we came on air, which we happened to be at together, but the cool things that you get to do, but you're behind the scenes really, aren't you? Like you're in front of it, but you're still behind it.
The way I like it.
Yeah. Give us some, without naming names or anything like that, what are some of like your highlights of things you've taken photos of, or people? Because I know you've taken photos of some pretty cool people too. When
I first started out, I I was on Twitter. I got on Twitter 2009. It was early development of Twitter.
Yep.
Met some amazing people on Twitter, and it was through that and chatting to people. I always said that Facebook was like the people you know, but Twitter was like the people you want to know.
Yeah.
So I got connected with people on Twitter and a lot of photographers, and I was able to I had so many opportunities to work with other people. One in particular was Gina Militia. She was an amazing photographer, and she allowed me to assist her, which was just amazing. But there were also people that were starting new blogs, and there was a lady who was up in Sydney, and she wanted this. She was starting this new blog, and she needed somebody in Melbourne who could take photos of different events, and often they were like perfume launches or movie premieres, and she organised all of the media access for me. I just had to go and get it, the accreditation, and I turn up, and often I didn't know what I was turning up to. But initially she said, "I've got this great job for you." She said, "It's going to be fantastic. I can't tell you a lot about it, but it's going to be amazing." So I the day before, I sort of reluctantly said yes, but the day of the event she said, you need to go to Maya in the city. The street will be cordoned off, but your accreditation will get you through. And you'll be photographing Katy Perry in Burke Street Mall launching her line of perfume, new line of perfume. Yep. And I was like, I can't do that. There's no way. Like, I was so new, I was so green. I said, I'm not capable of doing that. And she said, "Are you sure you don't want to think about it?" And I said, let me think about it. Yeah. So I had a chat with my husband, and he's like, "Why wouldn't you do it?" So then I did it. Yep. I turned up. I had to have some pokey elbows because the media scrum was very rough. But photographed her in Burke Street Mall, and then my accreditation actually allowed me to go up to the private room up in Maya. Yeah. And there were a whole bunch of VIPs that were able to meet and greet with her. And I just sat there the whole time just taking photos of her expression. She was just beautiful. Yeah. And that was amazing. She was beautiful with the crowd, and, she's stunning anyway. Yeah. But so that was one of the first opportunities that I had with this lady.
How do you go? How do you move on from there? Like, when you start with,
that's the
you started with Katy Perry, so you've got to go downhill from there.
Well, no, not necessarily.
Well, it didn't, did it? So,
so with the same lady, I was asked to do a movie premiere. So these photos would end up on her blog, and she could then share them. And blogs were a new thing, back then. So. So one of the other things she asked me to do was a movie premiere and like a doorstop media release thing. And there were a whole bunch of media people there, including Ruby Rose, and they were all interviewing this particular lady because it was significant. She had come to Melbourne and she was promoting her latest movie. Yeah. But everyone knows her. And it was just amazing. And it was Sarah Jessica Parker, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't think I can do that one either. But of course, I did. Yeah, yeah. And those things sort of added up. Through the same lady, I was able to do the Logies. It was the same year that One Direction was there, which was just phenomenal. My hearing hasn't been the same since because of the screaming.
Not the actual music, just the screaming girls.
Yeah. But yeah, so many opportunities that have come up. I became a member of Business Chicks, and they needed a photographer for an event one time, and they looked internally in their database and saw that I was a photographer, asked me if I could photograph an event for them, and pretty much that sort of catapulted the event area that I wanted to be in. And so many opportunities there as well. Like, I'm forever grateful of having worked with them and the events and the people that I met, and it was crazy.
Yeah,
it is still crazy.
I was going to say, I don't think it's stopped, has it? You're still doing that sort of photography, aren't you?
I am. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty tough during COVID.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. That was pretty rough, but fortunately, my company got funding from the government.
Yep.
Which kept me alive pretty much during that time, financially. And then after that, because I mainly photograph events, so events involve
there
people.
was just nothing, wasn't it? We weren't doing anything.
No.
There was not a single event.
No, not at all. So, so after that, everyone wanted to see everyone again.
Yeah.
When we finally got out, and it just went crazy.
Yeah.
Like, even up until last year, it is starting to cool off a bit now, but even last year was just crazy. People just, like, I actually can't believe that it's 5 years since we've been in lockdown, and 3 years since we've been out, pretty much.
Yeah.
And during that time, it was just...
Yeah, I think when it was going on, we didn't think it would ever end. And then when it did end, it just sort of went, bang, okay, it's done now, and we're all back to where we were, kind of. I mean, not that we weren't back to where we were, but we were all back to, we're organising face-to-face events. I know our team, came back to the office and we were like, can we organise events? Are we able to do these things? We did a few online things while we were in lockdown, and then as soon as we could start to have people face-to-face again, you're just going through the process, and people are getting used to coming back and spending time with each other and getting into the event space again. But there's a lot going on now, right? It's pretty much...
It's back to normal. Yeah, 100%. There are so many. In fact, in Melbourne this month, there's the most events we've had. It's like so many conferences, so much money is coming into Melbourne through events in Melbourne.
Yeah.
So.
Things we don't think about.
No.
There are events that you unless you're involved in those industries, you're not really thinking about what they are, but you get to see all of that because you don't have to be involved in the industry to get the ticket to the event to be the photographer, right?
No, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, there is so much. There are so many spaces here for event photography for events.
Yeah.
And everyone wants a photographer to document it for it to be. Part of their branding. It becomes, it's really important to have professional photos to document what is going on, because they use it as collateral for their next events, and they need those professional shots for their branding, really.
Yeah. Do you find that there's like, we're sitting in this podcast studio at the moment, and we've got 2 iPhones sitting here doing our videography for us. You don't really need specialised equipment depending on what it is that you're doing. Do you still have a situation where people will say to you, oh, Mel, that's just way too expensive. I can take those photos myself on my, iPhone 17?
No.
Never?
Never.
Yeah.
Never. But I always have had the belief that the best camera you have is the one that is accessible. And if that's in your pocket, then why not?
Yep.
We're going away next week, and we're going to Vietnam, and I'm actually tossing up whether I'm going to take my big camera or not.
Yep.
Because there are so many great things you can do with an iPhone, and it's in your pocket, it's easy, it doesn't get damaged, it's not heavy, so I don't have to carry it in my hand luggage.
Yeah.
And maybe a GoPro. have a bit of fun.
Yeah. One of our children is a photographer. She's not qualified. She just does it for fun, but she likes to take photos of birds and animals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The amount of times that we have had either one of us have had her
to share
giant
the load.
backpack on our back, or it's like, we've got, how much hand luggage have we got, because this has to go in hand luggage. And it's just like, can you just, like, your phone camera does the same thing. She's like, no, it doesn't.
No.
I know it doesn't, but as you said, it's in your pocket, so it's always there. You're just snapping photos.
And in fact, iPhones and smartphones in general have come so far.
Yeah.
And the depth of field that you can get with the multiple lenses in the cameras these days is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Part of my exhibition that I did from New York was actually taken on iPhone, and they were very small prints because, printing them, you couldn't have printed them any bigger. But I did triptychs, so I made it a whole story, a bit like you would see on Twitter or Instagram, I guess. So for me, that was an important part of telling my story, because it wasn't just about the black and whites, the big photos that I did with my camera. It was the street photography that I was able to do with my smartphone. And even back in 2011, I just love being able to add that aspect to my photography as well.
Do you particularly find that your clients are asking you for printed or for online photos?
I don't ever print anything anymore. It's not even a thing.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's more about getting them to them quickly. Yesterday. Yeah.
How do you manage that then? Because you obviously, used to be, it'd take me 3 weeks to get the things printed, and then I'd have to, make sure, because you've got to go specialise. You can't just print it off at home.
No.
What's the sort of turnaround time now?
So AI is my friend.
Yeah. Let's talk about AI, Warrior. Yeah.
So
just don't give away any trade secrets.
No. If there's a lot of options out there, and I guess you just need to look into them and know what is available to you. I feel like when my kids were little, I just spent my whole time editing, and I didn't miss things. I just didn't always produce the photos in the time frame that I wanted. And also I would sometimes be up till 2 o'clock in the morning editing, and then having to get up to take my kids to school. And that was a big thing, because, I had less choices of what I could do. I was just in front of my computer all the time. Now I have so many options. I guess with digital technology now, you can actually take photos till the sun goes down. And with that comes the culling process of those photos. So yes, you can take a whole bunch of photos, but you have to cull them to get to the gems that you send to your client. So culling was a massive thing. But now there is technology that automatically looks at the photo and determines whether it's in focus or not, whether the person's eyes are opened or closed. It creates an eye so that it's either green or red or orange, sort of somewhere in between. So it determines the focus of, whether somebody's eyes are open and the focus of the whole photo. And you can quickly and easily see and then move on to the next one. So the culling time has reduced significantly. Also through AI, I use a program that you create a profile of your own through an Adobe program called Lightroom, which all photographers use, as well as Photoshop. And with Lightroom, that you would have presets, but it doesn't. The same preset doesn't always work on the same photo, which you then have to edit anyway. So you would add a preset to it and then adjust it. Now I put it into a program, and it has my profile in it, and it has data from Lightroom that it pulls from all of the photos that I edit and determines how I edit those photos, and then does the editing process for me, which takes like minutes. And then sends it back into Lightroom with those presets and that data that I've already created. And I can tweak it so that it makes a bit more that there might be things that the AI hasn't picked up or the data hasn't picked up, but I can make it so that it's a lot easier, and from that data then I can send it back to the program to understand again, so I feed it more and more information, more and more data on how I edit, and from there it perfects the editing process, and there's very little I have to do now so in the past when I would have a turnaround time of say 7 days, my turnaround time is now 2 or 3 days, depending on what else I have on. And my clients love it. So I'm delivering earlier than what they expect, and then they like that. They like that they can share those photos with their clients, with their guests. But there's another program, another service that I'm about to introduce, and it is just fantastic. I've trialled it a couple of times now, but what it does is it uses facial recognition, which is a new thing. I know it can be quite controversial, but I feel like this is in a good way that it works. And people love the results. So how it works is that I take photos in my camera, I upload them. It automatically uploads to a cloud, a secure cloud, I should say. People then take a photo of the QR code. They fill in their name, their telephone number. They tick a box to say, I agree that the facial recognition is okay. They take a selfie, and with that selfie, it matches with the photos that I take in my camera. And it creates a gallery for that individual person on their own immediately, like within seconds. So at that event, they're getting the photos that I take, professional quality photos that I take on their cameras to download, and they can share them straight away. So for things like award nights and networking events and things where the client might take weeks to get those photos to the end client, these people are getting their photos instantaneously. And the client, my client, can brand it with their branding at the bottom, and it helps with social media because then they have that branding at the bottom and people can see that they've done this amazing event and people are sharing it straight away. So it's a win-win-win for everyone.
Yeah, that's incredible because obviously you're at an event, you're taking iPhone photos yourself, sometimes uploading them straight to your Instagram or whatever, but if you're sending me professional photos with me in them, that makes my life so much easier because otherwise I'm walking around going, taking a selfie with somebody or...
I can't tell you how many times people ask me at events if I can take a photo on their camera, on their phone as well. And after COVID, I actually refused to do that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to touch your phone. Goodness knows where it's been, actually.
Well, actually, exactly. I would prefer for them to get a better quality photo anyway. And they say to me, can you take it? Just take a photo. And I'm like, I can do better than that.
That's exciting. So is this something that you're doing It's a Mel Hobbs thing, so you're going to be doing it.
There's probably other photographers. It's an American-based company that I'm dealing with, so there are other photographers that are using it, and I have used it with other photographers as well.
Yeah.
But I've tried it at other events that I've done, and people love it. The feedback is just amazing.
I can imagine like school formals and stuff like that, where it's the amount of palaver that goes on with the school formal photos, and when they want to go up to the photographer and get the professional photos, and then they email them to you 6 days later and stuff like that. This is an instant thing, isn't it? So you're at the school formal, mum and dad are at home, they're getting, pictures straight away of you at your formal. Of course they're going to buy them straight away, aren't they? Like that's buy now. So
because they want to be able to share them as well.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. What a great idea.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So for me, it's a game changer, I think, because that turnaround of photos is the most important thing now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if it's an event that you've been to 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, nobody's going to remember that. No. And you're not probably going to share it because it was 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
With AI, manipulating photos and changing them. So what's I'm being very vague on it because I don't know too much from your end of it. But what's your thoughts on that?
There's some crazy things you can do.
But in terms of what you do, where's the boundaries in terms of what you can do with a photo?
So a lot of the work that I do is event stuff that it's not people need to see them as they are.
Yeah.
Like if you've got an MC on stage or an award winner, people don't want the photo to be manipulated too much.
Yeah.
I change it slightly with regards to things like exposure and the lighting in the room can change the colour cast, so the white balance. And,
you're not striking someone like what you can do on iPhones, or otherwise you'd remove someone from the photo or anything like that?
I don't remove people, but I remove objects.
Yeah, okay, yep.
Yeah. So just recently I did a conference last week and the lectern was in the way. But I couldn't move. The lectern needed to be there, but it was just sort of a glass lectern and the edge of it was in the way of some of the photos. And it looked so much better without it. So I just get the remove tool and that's in a whole bunch of different programs now, as you mentioned, like on phones and things like that, but also Lightroom.
Yeah.
And I just removed it because the photo looked much better and the client will be happier with that because I just don't like little things in the corner of photos that don't need to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think saw recently where you took 2 photos of someone, they might have their eyes closed in one, open the other, and you can put them together to get the one, merge them together, have them with their eyes open?
So I often do that with headshots because with the lighting, the light reflects on glasses. So I actually take 2 photos of people, one without their glasses on and one with their glasses on. And often they will want the photo with their glasses on, but to get rid of the reflection in the glass, I merge the 2 together.
Right, okay.
So you don't get that big soft box image in the glasses.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why you should get your photos taken professionally. Not just snap them with your iPhone and throw them into your Instagram profile. That's
and also, Andrea, you should get your headshots done quite regularly. And I am so bad at that because up until just recently, I had a photo that was probably 10 years old on my website.
I don't have a problem with that. You don't see as many grey hairs and things like that.
Exactly. I think it's probably better.
I know. But when I turn up for the event, they go, "Oh, and who are you?"
Yeah.
I don't think you've changed that much. No. I don't think you've changed that much. We talk about technology as a thing that is going to take people's jobs. That's, one of the big conversations around AI and that sort of stuff is it's going to take people's jobs. There has been a natural situation where we used to get every photo that we took printed. It was just the only way to do it. You went, you took your camera roll and they printed it out for you at the chemist. That was the thing. That doesn't exist anymore, does it? Because you just don't do those. I mean, you go to Kmart and put your SD card in and get your printed photos.
Yeah.
What do you see? So obviously AI is changing the way you work. It's not walking around taking photos though. There's still that personal element that you are actually there taking the photos, seeing what people are experiencing, getting that all firsthand, understanding what's going on in the room. That's still super important. Like you could probably have robots wandering around doing photography. It wouldn't be as good. But for you, when you're doing those sorts of things, what do you think to yourself? Like, back in the olden days, I was taking film to the you weren't taking it to the chemist. We were taking it to the chemist.
I was.
You were taking it to wherever it was, in Fitzroy, where there used to be a place that printed things. What do you think of the progression of technology and how it has changed what we're doing?
I mean, it's easier now for people to become professional because back in the day with film there was that limitation that you didn't know what you were doing or you didn't know what the outcome would be. Yeah. You couldn't see it on the back of the screen. You didn't know what the exposure was. You had to guess and then learn by guessing and then understand the lighting and the environment and where the light is coming from, the direction and all those sorts of things. And I think those things made you good photographers because back in the back of your brain, you know exactly when you walk into a room or outside what the settings should be. And because you do it so often and it was kind of expensive back in the day. Like when I was studying to be a teacher, I couldn't actually afford to have a camera. I had to hire them from the uni so that I could, and then I had to buy my own film and then I had to develop that film and that was expensive. That was an expensive learning process. Now it's a lot cheaper. I mean, I'm not saying that the gear is cheaper. I'm just saying that the added things that you do are a lot cheaper, but you have other things like software and Dropbox. You have to pay for the files to be sent to the client through Dropbox. It is different, but still quite expensive. The gear is expensive, professional grade, and then of course they upgrade it all the time. And I shoot with mirrorless now, whereas before. I was going to
ask about that because is it better? Mirrorless is
so good.
Yeah, okay,
so good. I mean, there are so many great features that my client don't even know.
Exactly.
Just things like grids, and it has a level in it, so I can see that the photo is straight, and I can line it up with the lectern. So when I go back in and edit the photos, it's I don't have to change it too much. I don't have to crop it too much to make it level because it's already level through the camera. I can actually see in the viewfinder the last photo that I took, so I can see whether their eyes are open or closed, and then take another one if I need to. So many great things. I can actually get see what the exposure is like in using a flash and then not using a flash in the back of the camera. So I can just sort of tweak the settings if I need to.
And is that technology improving all the time? So
all the time.
So that's what you're talking about. So every 2 or 3 years you have to upgrade your camera, or even sooner than that?
Sometimes sooner.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then do the lenses fit on the, so that make sure you get the.
So the digital SLRs had a different lens.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm really bad at the technical part of things. I just know that it joins on. But yes, the when it connects, it's not the same as a mirrorless, and you can get a connector so that you can use your old lenses if you want to. But for me, I wanted to be able to use the new lenses because they're lighter and they're smaller, and when I'm carrying my gear, I usually shoot 2 up. So I have 2 mirrorless cameras and 2 lenses on those, and often 2 flashes on those, so it's really heavy.
Yeah.
And by the end of the day, if I've got gear that is significantly lighter, then and the mirrorless is lighter, and their lenses are lighter as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes a whole difference to my back.
Yes. Yeah, because carrying our daughter's
I know.
bag, we know. Yeah, absolutely.
And she's only got one camera and one lens.
And how many lenses would you have? So for each camera, is it interchangeable?
It is interchangeable, yeah. So I usually shoot with a 70 to 200, 2.8.
Yeah.
And a 24 to 70, 2.8. 2.8 allows me to get that low light, which a lot of events are. There's 70 to 200 is a telephoto lens. It allows me to get shots from the back of the room of the keynote speaker or whoever it is. 24 to 70 is a wide angle lens, so you've got that scope of creating those photos of the whole room. And then I have an 18 to, I don't know what it is, 35.
Yeah, okay.
Which allows even wider.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't often use that lens, so that's why I didn't know what it was. But I have it because there are sometimes rooms that are so big that you want to get the whole of the room.
Gosh, there's so much to think about.
Yeah.
Here we've got Emily's camera and she gets angry at herself because the bird moves when she's taking a photo of it and it's not quite right. And we're like, the photo looks beautiful. And she's like, oh, no, it's got this is wrong and the wings over here and stuff like that. It's
so just so that Emily knows, this is the reason why I couldn't photograph Katy Perry, because what if I stuffed it up?
Correct. Exactly. Yeah.
What if she moved?
Yeah.
Exactly. I guess it's probably just a universally accepted photographer thing. That, what if I just don't get the right photo at the right time? Because, and we say now, at least you've got the viewfinder, at least you can flick back and see, like, I've got at least 10 good photos here. When you were taking film photos, you did not know at all until you got it to the and they did it for you. There's a funny situation, and we'll talk a little bit about this story because it's a funny one, and it is relating to the people that were at the event that we were talking about before we came on air. One of the people at the event who we didn't know was going to be at the event having a good sing, I follow them on social media. They're family and they've got a little boy, and they recently gave him a little the Kodak ones that you take, you get the film printed. And they posted on their social media the other day that every single photo was just brown. He'd taken a whole bunch of photos of just absolutely nothing. So they've taken it off to get it processed, and it's cost them goodness knows how much money. Right. And this 4-year-old has just taken photos of brown. Everything was brown. And the funny part about it is that Mel was actually, the event that we were talking about before, they were singing at that event. That was just a funny little snippet of info, but photography related, that they are public people. They get lots of photos taken. They have the most amazing headshots and beautiful things, and their little boys just gone around and taken a whole bunch of photos of nothing, and they've posted on their socials saying, there's excellent. I don't know how much it is to get a roll of film printed these days, but
I don't know actually either, but I did a montage of photos. My son plays basketball and I'm the team manager, and with the spare time I have, I often
which is not any spare time.
But they had presentation night, and for the boys I put together a montage of photos from the season, because I'll take my camera along every now and then, and particularly during tournaments, I guess, because it's a lot easier. And I put together a montage of photos, got it from Etsy, put it into put the photos into it, and then put their name at the bottom of it. But I had to take it to Kmart to get it printed because I don't know where to get it printed anymore.
It's the only place I know that does printing.
Right.
Gosh. I still see people sit there getting their photos printed. I don't know. We haven't gotten a photo printed for a long time. It's a funny thing that I've been in events and marketing for a long time, and I remember vividly having the photographer waiting the 4 or 5 weeks before you could actually put the photos anywhere because they were hard copy. And now Chelsea was putting together a booklet for us, and we don't print much here. We do most of our stuff online, most of our marketing is online, but we have for the first time in a very long time printed an A4 booklet of some really important info. Yeah. And the printing turnaround, like even back in the olden days when I was a young person and got printing done, was maybe 6 weeks. You get a booklet printed in 6 weeks and it'd, get delivered on a carrier pigeon. Yeah. The printing of this particular item was pretty much overnight. Yeah. We got all these, 50 copies of this thing printed overnight. The whole technology around how we do all of that has changed so much.
But now we just expect it though. That's the
thing.
That's created that expectation.
100%. And I guess the thing with that is that the printing market suffered the most with digital. Yeah. And I guess that they now have to provide their whatever is printed in a timely manner to get it to the clients because that's what they expect.
Yeah. It just the technology has changed so much around all the way we market, the way we plan events and everything.
Just at all.
It's very cool, the AI elements of it though, because Mel, what you said it means to you is not that you're going to it's going to impact you personally because you get more time, which means you get to photograph more events. Yes. And more people get to have access to you because you're not sitting in front of your computer manually editing things anymore, which is a big deal. And I guess the same thing will happen with things like wedding photographers and stuff like that, where the photos become more accessible and people, you don't need to have – I know there's a lot of people that say, no one taking iPhone photos while they're at weddings these days and stuff. People want to take those photos because I want to be able to share them on my social media. But if, as you're saying, a photographer is there taking photos, QR coding them to me, I don't need to have my iPhone out taking photos. I'm utilising the beautiful photos that you're taking and getting access to them, and everyone gets to share them at the time.
And then you avoid grandma in the aisle with the huge big iPad.
Yes.
Absolutely. Or you see the, videos of people at concerts and events and stuff, and someone's like, Katy Perry's on stage, so we're all with our iPhone videoing the event or taking photos.
I have to say that I do that. I do that because I want to remember the moment. And I love the music because I'm there for the music. And I want to be able to go back and remember that I've seen Coldplay 100 times and I love that the whole stadium lights up and those sorts of things. Or I'm like from you away from Robbie Williams. I
think Mel was just suggesting that you're a bit like being near Robbie Williams.
I don't think
take that as a compliment.
I'm flattered anyway.
Photography is not a 9-to-5 job.
No.
What does your normal day look like, or your normal week? What does it look like?
So secretly, I am not a morning person.
Okay.
I don't love mornings.
So the Business Chicks events might not have been your favourite places to be. Some of them are
afternoons or lunchtime. I do it because it's part of the job. Sometimes I like with conferences it's 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. or whatever it is. And I do it because it needs to be done. Yeah. But the next day, if I'm not working, I'll be up at 10 because, it's long and it's hard and it's I don't love mornings. And my husband, we were talking about sunsets and sunrises actually, and somebody shared a beautiful sunrise recently and I'm like, I'm never going to see that.
Surely when you're in Vietnam, you might get up for a sunrise.
Maybe. The sunrises will look really good. The sunsets, I mean.
What's your favourite thing to photograph?
The events give me a great vibe.
Yep.
It's always great photographing amazing people. And I had to think about this because, those events are great but I like the personal aspect of photography, and this is the reason why I got into it.
Yeah.
Was because I wanted to capture my children basically, and capture them from being young, right even to now when they're adults, and I wanted to be able to tell a story with my photography, and but some of the things that I really enjoy are some of the charity events that I work for. I do a whole bunch of different things working for different companies. But one of the significant moments, I think, was a lady that I knew. Actually, she worked with my husband, and she was diagnosed with lung cancer. And she only had months to live. And for me, it was really important to be able to photograph her with her son and her husband, because she literally died like a couple of weeks after I took the photos, and they now have photos of her being with her. And I sent them through a couple of albums of these photos because it's so important. I feel that they needed to capture that moment in time, even though it was devastating and sad, and but they have those photos, and I feel like that's really important.
Yeah, yeah.
It's those things that I think that are the most important.
Yeah, yeah. The ones where you've got a photo of the kids with their friends winning a tournament, or even losing a tournament. It doesn't matter. That the point of it is the ability to go back to those things and revisit them in the future when, you're thinking to yourself, oh, we'll just have a look at that photo album. We do the same thing with our photos, and,
I used to share a lot on Facebook, and because my children had no choice. But now they're adults, and I'm don't share that, Mum.
Yeah.
So I have to share it with like older photos with them privately. And they're like, oh my God. But then I feel like there'll be a time when they'll go, oh, thank God you documented that, because
absolutely.
Those photos are just beautiful, and we have that documentation.
Yeah, yeah.
I only have a few photos of myself. I mean, I was the eldest, so I actually had the most photos of me. But, I was born in the 70s, so my parents had to do the old school.
They were lucky if they had a camera, really.
Yeah.
I remember deliberately going out to buy an actual camera when we had our babies so that we could get photos of them, because we didn't, it just wasn't something that you thought of.
That was a plastic Kodak. I think that was a plastic Kodak thing from memory.
We bought one and then, we bought a...
don't think we're that old.
Not quite as old as
that.
that.
Before us, wasn't it?
We had one of those at Lumix.
Oh, that's right, a Panasonic
Lumix that we bought.
Like a point and shoot.
Yeah. And we had that. And then we upgraded to something else because, as you said, Mel, you have a camera for a year and all of a sudden there's a better camera. Or the one, it was point and click, and then, and then all of a sudden we just started using iPhones.
But then, the digital ones at the time, it was, 1 megapixel, hell, then it went to 2 and then had to get that one, and then
you
4,
open those
and then
photos
8
now and you try and,
So the latest iPhone that's come out this week was launched last week is 48 megapixels just in the camera.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's just crazy.
How you fit all that into that little device. Yeah.
It's amazing. Thank you for coming in, Mel. Really appreciate chatting. It's been too long and we shouldn't.
Too long, yeah.
I hope you have a beautiful time in Vietnam. I'm looking
you.
forward to seeing at least 1 or 2 photos of the sunrise.
Maybe. Maybe.
Just one last question before we finish up, because it's important for people. We always talk to people about, you think about what you want to do in the future when you want. Photography is a really beautiful thing to be able to pick up at any age. You don't have to do it from, a young age to be a good photographer. You can do it. You can teach yourself. There's lots of YouTube videos. That's what Emily does. If someone thought to themselves, I want to be a photographer, what would you tell them are the most important things they need if they're just starting out?
Okay, so I would certainly recommend knowing your market. It's really important to know who you're marketing to and what type of photography you want to do.
Yep.
Because initially I started out, I actually didn't really know. I sort of fell into events. And in fact, we had a wedding business at one stage, and I didn't love it. And I think that's where the passion comes in, because if you don't love it, then you're not going to want to get up every day to do it. So find out what your passion is. My next thing, I guess, and it's a progression from events, is I would love to photograph bands. I would love to do that. It would just be amazing, I think, being part of that. But and my eldest son is a musician, so I might get that opportunity one day. But I think definitely knowing your market, only buy the equipment that you can afford, because it's always going to change. Invest in lenses. That's really important, because you can interchange the lenses with the bodies. I don't know, take all the opportunities that you can, even if you don't think that you can do it, because those opportunities are the ones that can change your life.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you again so much.
You're welcome.
We will share all of Mel's
Thank you for having
details. It's a pleasure. We'll share all of Mel's details as part of the podcast. We'll share your website and any of the other information that you would like us to share. If there's an Instagram, I know that there could be, or there may not be. It depends on what the kids are letting you share.
I know, right?
But we'll share all of that as part of the podcast, and we'll make sure everyone knows how to get in touch with you, Mel, if they've got a need for an event photographer, or if they're a band and they're looking for a photographer, then Mel would love to.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks again so much, Mel.
Thanks guys. Thanks for having me.